is the activated Futurtarian AF1. First and foremost, I'm going to say peace, power, and soul. And this video is going to be on how do you know you are part of the 200 fallen genetics. It's real simple. See, when you're dealing with the 200 fallen, first off, this picture I got here, I was looking for some brothers that had angel wings, and on the internet they got them all like dark. They got them all gloomy, just dark matter, just all dark. And I'm like, okay, I see what Google's on, whatever, you know, moving forward. But see, that's the reason why I got him on here. And it's all dark, because if you guys go on Google and you start Googling, you know, the fallen ones, aka black people, you'll see there's not a lot of pictures to select from. So that's why I got this picture here. But anyway, back to the video. How do you know you're part of the 200 fallen? See when the 200, that's the original state. That's the original state dealing with planet Earth. Going back to the original state. And see, the wings. See, when you're dealing with the wings on the back, the wings represent the plasma portal travel. Because the upper dimensional beings, they don't travel with spaceships. They use portals. They don't travel through space with spaceships. They use portals. The ones that you see in spaceships, them are highly advanced 3D beings. That's who that is. They are the protectors of the chosen. They are the protectors of the chosen ones. So the wings, what do the wings represent on a so-called fallen angel? Because you're dealing with religion, you know, they're going to twist it up and make it seem like the fallen angels, they were evil, bad. No, they were just logical. That's all they was. They were logical. So the wings represent plasma portal travel, dealing with the electrodes, the electrons, manipulating dark matter. That's what that represents when you see the wings. When you see in religion, you see the wings on the angels. That's portal plasma travel. No spaceships. See, that's why you're dealing with the dead zones. The dead zones, when you're dealing with the planet, you got the cyberverse, which is the internet, which they used to call it the web across the planet. But then you have the organic web, which is the dead zones. The dead zones is the organic web, dealing with the planetary grid system. The planetary grid system deals with in alignment, dealing with magnetism, and deals with, that's how when these three-dimensional beings fly crafts like that, where they could just manipulate magnetism. That's where that comes from the planetary grid system. And then you're dealing with the dead zones. The dead zones is where a lot of the dead zones is where you're gonna catch the portals. Dealing with the portals, and you go back to that one TV series, Stargate. See, they put everything in your face. When you go back to that series, the Stargate, what was the Stargate? When they used to walk through the portal, what was that? That was ones walking through portals. So if you look at it from, you know, a popcorn seat, and you see the circle represents what? The zero. The ones walking, and even if it's just one being, I'm gonna give you an example. When you're dealing with the Avengers, when Yoki had walked through the portal, see, they show you all this stuff in the movies. When Yoki walked through the portal, they were showing you the quantum computer. The one walking through the zero. Because in order for you to be in this 3D reality, you have to have ones and zeros. So that's what that was representing in that movie, the Avengers, when Yoki walked through the portal by himself. That was a one parallel up and down, walking through a zero. Now also, when you're dealing with mind control is a part of the organic DNA, the junk DNA that can be activated through just dealing with, when you're dealing with manipulating people's minds. Now I'm gonna give you an example. When you're dealing with pimps and hoes, now if you look at, you can see a woman that's just, she could be a 8, 9, 10, and you wondering why this man could control this woman like this. Why she's not extending her mind and shaking a situation that she's in is because she's under hypnosis. Hypnosis is real. People can put you under hypnosis and have you under a spell. They can have you literally under a spell and put you under hypnosis. So when you're dealing with the 200 fallen, the people that have the genetics from the 200 fallen that activated, which is the junk DNA, it can be activated. They can actually manipulate people's mind through frequencies, through speech, through telepathy, through hypnosis, and they can manipulate their minds, and they actually can control them. They actually can control that individual. Dealing with mind control, that's a sign that you know you're a part of the 200 fallen, because the 200 fallen is the original state on this planet. And you got teachers talking about us going back to the original state. Well, that's the original state. And anybody can't argue with me about that because they know that's what it is. That's the original state. That's why they can't argue. That's why when I go to war with people on the cyberverse, they lose every time, because I'm a part of the 200 fallen. They can't go to war with somebody that's in the future, farther than them. They just can't. But back to this intel. See, that's mind control. People that manipulate the minds, that control people. One of the key factors of that is hypnosis. Putting somebody under hypnosis. Hypnosis is actually a real thing. You can go Google hypnosis. Since a lot of people like to Google stuff, go Google hypnosis and you see that it is real. Hypnosis is real. Dealing with the extended power, being tapped into higher dimensions. The extended power is called the source. There is a power called the source. Now, if you look at that movie when you're dealing with Will Smith, and he was dealing with all those AI robots. I forgot what the movie was called. I think it was iRobot. And he was dealing with all those AI robots. Where did he have to go to kill the robots? He had to go to the main source. The main source, tapping in to the main source and actually getting plugged in through mind power, through the sun, through frequencies, and also through opening your mind up and not having limitations on your mind. See, once you put limitations on your mind, then you put limitations on your future. Because your mind is an organic computer. Your mind is an organic computer. It has a processor. It has data entry. It has a deleting system. It has a coping mechanism system. And also has a system dealing with emotions. And emotions is one of the big factors on controlling people on this planet, because you know you can activate people. I'm going to give you an example when you're dealing with the internet. The internet is so funny because when you're dealing with the internet, I was on this website, and it's so funny because a lot of the regulars, we call them regulars. A lot of the regulars, they don't understand that when the internet is being used for multiple things, and one is for mental warfare. So when somebody posts something on the internet and you sitting there and you think and you believe it because it came from this website, it came from this, somebody said it was actual facts. And it's so weird because being activated, I seen this lady on the internet. She was talking about I'm using this as an example, the PPP loans that everybody was getting. She was like, oh, they got this website out where people can, tell on everybody this and that. And that's how easy it is to trigger somebody, to get somebody focused on something on the internet. Because I'm like, okay, you don't even know if that's true or not. You know what? You know why I say that? Because it manipulates people's minds, because people think that the internet was put out here for them to gather information, and it wasn't. The internet was put out here to gather intel. The what they call that in the computer, the motherboard, the hard drive. That's why the internet was put out, to gather intel, not information. Information is the past, intel is the future. And also knowing that you're a part of the 200 fallen is by organically scanning somebody. What do I mean by that? See, because when you're activated, you can organically scan somebody. It's just the same way when they use the facial recognition. They use the facial recognition when somebody rolls by a camera and the camera scans their face, and they can bring up all your data, your phone history, everything, where you've been at, your Google history, your Google Maps, and all that stuff. See, somebody who's activated, we can do that too. We could do that too. Not on the level as far as information goes. Because when you're dealing with Google, Siri, and Alexa, yeah, they can scan your face and bring up all your information. We can scan your face and bring up the intel. That's the difference. That's when they say the 200 fallen, we back on the planet, and can't nobody on this planet do about it. We protected by the Galactical Council. Can't nobody touch us. Simple as that. So the organic scanning system. I could talk to somebody. Give me, you know what, 100 seconds. Give me 100 seconds talking to somebody. They already scanned. I already see the potential of their future. The potential of their future just by scanning them. Just by scanning them. See, when you're dealing with the 200 fallen genetics, it's going back to the original state. That's the original state. Nobody on this planet can argue about that. No teachers, no nothing. That's the true original state, is going back to the 200 fallen, the junk DNA genetics that could be activated, because that's why they call it junk DNA, is because you can activate your junk DNA and then you turn into an organic cyborg. Because you got cyborgs, which is artificial, and then you got the organic cyborgs, which is yourself. If you can tap into that, tap into the junk DNA being activated, and then also to your mind moving past 2, 3, 4, 5%. It's all possible. That's why we have to come back from the future to let everybody know that it's possible to be on the activation level. There's nothing else on this planet. I done dealt with a lot of teachers. I done went from a little bit about AF1, started out with religion. Then I went and studied the Israelites doctrine. Then I went and studied Islam doctrine. Then I went to the Nuwapians. Then I went to the conscious community. Then I went to the Republic of Mentellect. And now I'm at activation stage. And the 200 fallen, we're back on the planet. It's the activated AF1. If you like the way the world is, don't like, don't share, don't subscribe. If you want it to alter, move at the speed of light. Peace, power, and soul.